We're back, people. Today we're breaking down film on the Miami Dolphins offense versus the Bills. Obviously, it was worst case scenario last night for the Dolphins offense. And, first things first, talking about Tua, really just the main thing for me is just hoping that he's okay, man. Like, just want the best for him. There will be a lot of speculation, a lot of talk about him and what he should do. I don't know what he should do. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to try to speculate all of that type of thing. I don't think it's my place or, the fans' place. Really, I think that's just up to Tua, and I'll support that. Obviously, it was a very disappointing game. I think a lot of people will look at the box score and kind of just be like, oh, this was game was Tua's fault. They'll see the 3 interceptions, but realistically, this was just a total collapse offensively. You saw the problems that come to light when how teams understand how to play us, specifically Buffalo. They were playing so deep. They were taking away deep throws. And the first 2 interceptions, especially the first one wasn't on Tua. The second one is a little more, tougher to predict. But I do think it was more on Chosen than it was on Tua. The third was clearly his fault. But we'll go through this game. I would say if that injury didn't happen, obviously, it's only week 2. You can still build off of it. These things happen in the NFL. But we really, this season, right now, is a huge question mark. I have no idea how it's going to go. It's clearly not over. Anything can happen. As you can see, things flip around, very, very quickly for you in the NFL. It's a very fast-paced league. I mean, they're Chosen slipping on that play right there. But the teams are playing us, I think the offensive line definitely had a struggle game. There were some penalties that ruined some drives. Obviously, the turnovers. Really hard to judge the defense, which I'll get to, because most of the points did come off turnovers. They gave up too much pressure in obvious situations. And we just don't run the basics. I want to talk about McDaniel because I think he's a great play designer. There's so many situations where we try to run these tosses, they get horizontal very quickly, and then the safeties get vertical. They're taking away deep passes. Look how deep the safeties are here. They're insanely far down the field, and we're struggling to get open. And I think we have to have our guys push it down the field at a more consistent level. Even though those guys are playing over the top, you can still find places underneath that didn't work, but you have to make them at least respect it. And then there was this one where Tua tries to throw it away. Definitely, you can see the arm strength issues on these types of scenarios. And also, we have Kendall Lamb and Lester Cotton getting destroyed when they came in as backups. So that was tough to see. But we just really have gone away from what's worked. And I understand with how teams are playing us, you want to be able to get the ball out quickly. But we're doing it into the cutesy of ways. We're going out there, throwing screens. We're doing all these crack tosses. But sometimes I really think every team needs to be able to play the basics of football. We saw it in the Jacksonville game. We did a little bit of it towards the end with how we were running the ball, our run concepts. We were playing the basics, and it started working. Same thing with our pass concepts. We don't ever just make it super easy and just put stress on some of the low underneath zone defenders, being hey, you go here or here, and we're going to take the other option and take a free 7 yards on first down. We just don't do the basics right. I think you can still do all of this stuff that we like to do, but if we don't run the basics, at a more consistent level, we still need to have these guys Tyreek and Waddle need to be pushing down the ball down the field still. Not saying every single snap, and it's not even that they need to be targeted down the field because of how people are playing us, but it just opens up space, and I just don't feel like we've gone away from what's worked, and it's been tough to watch. Here, we put ourselves in tough situations. We run these crack toss so often. Yes, it will have some big plays, but there's always so many negatives that come with it, and these teams are clearly expecting it. This time the motion with Hill, they crack toss down. You can tell from where Ingle's aligned. They're going to see this tight alignment and think, hey, this could easily be crack toss. I mean, to either side potentially. But once they see that motion, they're going to flow with it. See crack toss. Julian Hill whiffs on the corner. Everyone else kind of wins up front from Buffalo, and we lose 3 yards. And now we put ourselves in a tough position. We've been in so many second and third and longs throughout this season. Instead of kind of making things early, get downhill, run down the middle, probably at least gain a few yards, or on first down, just quick get the ball out, at least make it a positive game. Then you have your second play here. You can just see how deep the Bills are playing. They're playing this. Look how much this corner bails out, and this is a concept where we're working down the field, 2-man route concept, and then Tua just kind of releases it super early. He's kind of just throwing it away deep. Obviously, we should probably get more to a check down here, but Tua has done a decent job getting the check down at other spots. But I feel like we need more checkdowns that are a little bit farther down the field to keep these guys at threat. All the other checkdowns, look at them. Everyone is at the line of scrimmage or behind it. They're running into each other. We've thrown the check down to Achane a bunch this season, but like we don't have any other options. That's why like we're really hurting at the receiver position. And then you're in 3rd and 13. Ball just hits off Grant DeBoe's chest. Like we have all the backups in. Tyreek and Waddle just ran all the way down the field. They're tired. They come out. 3rd and 13. The only way you're converting this, if you step back, look when the ball is being released. Tua throws with insane anticipation. DeBose turns around. Ball hits him in the shoulder. His head should be around right now. If he turns his head around right now, the ball is going to hit him straight in the chest because he'll slow down, catch it. And then it just hits off of him and then gets turned into an interception. And then the Bills score and go off to an early lead right away. That's like basically you're losing the game right off the rip with these turnovers. Put yourself in a tough spot. Because then after that, they respond with a good drive. I mean, I like this play call. Dolphins actually, go kind of to one of their bread and butter looks with the play action behind the back. And then you may have that quick look over the middle of the Tyreek. One's walking vertical, but you turn it into a tight end screen. And you actually got Jonnu involved in this game. And Jonnu was able to make some plays. But there was just, too many question marks overall. I want to see more stuff like this. Like going out into empty, you spread out the defense. You're out in the red zone area too. I want to see I feel like we should be doing more of this stuff where it's super simple. You have your guys running a pretty normal route concepts. Like they're running stick and nod to this side of the field, and then to the backside, you basically just have Waddle, running that slant route over the middle. Tua looks towards it. It's not really open, but then he steps up in the pocket, feels it. He moves this guy with his eyes, finds Waddle. Feel like you can easily be playing more spread out ball because it forces the linebackers to really get widened, and the potential middle of the field can't open. If they don't widen, you can take a quick hitter right there to Jonnu, things like that. Find Waddle over the middle. Those are the things I feel like the Dolphins should be doing more. It's very basic, but I think it's what they need to do because teams are selling out to stop what they've done in the past. Like the Bills, you'll see throughout this video how deep they were playing safety wise. It was insane. This was the touchdown. Dolphins have ran this throughout the year where they basically have a lead blocker out there on the swing. So the lead swing. Tua looks to the side of the field. Waddle's not open. He comes off of it. Gets down to his check down. Good job. I mean, Achane, pretty much the lone bright spot across the board in this offense. He's from first game to second game, he's been amazing in both. But also suffered some more injuries throughout this from different people. This was the second pick, another one that I feel was the true momentum shifter. The first one was just super, unlucky, but we bounced back from it. This one, you got to stop. You just gained a first down. You probably should have completed this, but Robbie, you start having backups in. To me, this one is a little more speculative, whose the fault is on. But when you see when Tua releases it, he's starting to release right now. Chosen's kind of already broken and stopped. To me, Tua usually releases it a little bit earlier for break, so I do think Chosen was supposed to potentially break this much deeper, and he slips here too, which doesn't help. The ball gets overthrown, so to me, if I had to guess who I had more faith of on this play, I would guess with Tua's accuracy, anticipation. This is also the downside of anticipation. We saw it with the first two plays. Sometimes with anticipation, when you throw the ball early and you're throwing it to the people you don't have that chemistry with, bad plays can easily happen. That's why they look worse than they were. The DeBoe's right off the chest. Here, Chosen slips, doesn't get to the right route depth, and it goes over the head. It ends up being a pick, and they get another great field position. We just get another drive sort of taken away, and it's not even that bad. There's some space to work with in there, and it just doesn't end up working out, unfortunately. And then here was another drive, kind of after the interception, that kind of gets ruined from a holding call. We get Jalen Wright in there. We get downhill. I like us getting downhill. Teron is down blocking here, and they call Armstead for holding. Pretty weak call, in my opinion, by the way. But as he gets wrapped around and the guy tries to work out, I don't know. I feel to me, that's not a very major holding call. We get downhill, pick up a first down, and it gets called back. We don't convert. We forced to punt away. Just drives ruined and pretty much not great from across the board. But look at this. This was actually a very important play in the game, but I wanted to show this for the safeties. Look how deep. This is a 2nd and 5. Tyreek and Waddle in the field. Look at this, man. Damar Hamlin is so deep. Rap also goes back very deep. I like the call too. We run some, wind back stuff with the motion. Creates that gap scheme man type look. First, I do think Achane has to pick this first down here. There's way too much space here not to pick up this first down. and we actually don't pick up the first down. And this is where we tried to run the fullback dive after this, didn't pick it up, and then we get to 4th and 2, and we don't pick it up here because of Robert Jones. Tua is looking to this side of the field. He's reading this side. Waddle slips. This was also a problem last night. The field. I feel like we slipped a million times, like so many times. Waddle slips on the break. He doesn't slip there. He might have a chance if Tua throws it, normal break. This guy's coming down, but we never know how it would have looked out. So then Tua, boom, and then as he's coming off of it, tries to step up. Robert Jones gets absolutely destroyed by Ed Oliver. Jones also got hurt in this game, but he's looked bad. I feel like Jones has been our worst offensive lineman. Look how quickly he loses this rep. This is the worst I've seen Jones look throughout his entire career, honestly, these first 2 weeks. It's been very rough. And then that was another turnover on downs where we gave them great field position. They scored again. That's why it was tough to, the Dolphins defense didn't look good, but they really only gave up 1 touchdown that wasn't off of turnovers. 1 scoring drive that wasn't off of turnovers. All the other ones were off turnovers, and obviously one of them will be a pick 6. But man, it was tough to watch across the board there. Here's just another, situation, kind of where we're in a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. We go back to these crack toss. We're trying to get to cutesy. Barrios gets beaten by Miller. Toss play. Tua kind of loses his balance here too, trying to fake that swing to Tyreek. We're trying to run so many different variations of this look, and I get it. We can still do that, but we're running it so often. These teams are just predicting it, expecting it to this side of the field. They see these alignments. This is what they're thinking is going to happen, and it just really put us in tough situations. Then after that, Tua escapes the pocket. I think this was also right before halftime, guys. I want to talk about this. I feel like the clock management before halftime was bad. We were running screens. It was like 2 minutes left. We got the ball. To get to this point, we ran screens, we ran the ball, and then we threw 1 quick out to Jonnu Smith. We didn't try to push the ball down the field at all. It felt like it showed that we just didn't have confidence, and people were on Twitter, the Tua haters were trying to be it's showing he doesn't trust Tua. To me, it was showing he just didn't trust anyone. He wasn't it also was the nature of how the defenses play us. If the defenses can continue to play us like this with these deep safeties, it's going to be very hard to pass the ball. We have to be able to run the ball down the hill, do the basics when you go out there and throw the ball, make things a little more simple. Your guys can still run the ball, routes down the field, take that attention with them, but that should, if they're playing this, other things should be opened up underneath, but it definitely hurts us. But then Tua kind of picked up this first down from running. You can see how deep these safeties are playing. Nothing was open. The only one who really kind of got open was, on man-to-man was Barrios, but there's 2 safeties over the top. You're not going to be able to throw that. Tyreek and Waddle not open either. There's safety help. Tua has to escape the pocket. He definitely looked more athletic. It's tough to even talk about the Tua stuff because we don't know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, I just hope that whole situation turns out. It was a very depressing night last night. Here we go. Play action. Come out of it. Bills go deep to here. We actually probably could have hit. It would have been tough. You would have to throw with anticipation to Waddle here because this was capped over the top, taken away, but there is potential to hit that. But this is what I'm talking about. Having Tyreek and Waddle run routes down the field, if it's not open right away, which it wasn't, this team flowed here. This is my kind of problem with the offense is sometimes we do this where we run these route concepts that is only to one side of the field like this. Look at the Bills. No one's threatening this side of the field. And it's fine to run stuff, but I feel like we just do it too often where we just don't spread things out. This team can just go to one side of the field like that. It works out here. This is what I'm saying. Get quick to your check down. If they're running down the field, we can take some quick, easy yards, but we just do it. We take these quick check downs, we do them with screens and all of those. And to me, those designed plays, they're much easier for defenses to end up stopping. And then here comes the interception. This one was for sure on Tua. Also on the offensive line a bit too, but definitely for Tua throwing the ball. The other ones were receiver mistakes. This one he's trying to throw away, so it wasn't he made a bad read and got picked. It was just he didn't have the arm strength to get it out there. He made a bad decision. He should have just taken the sack at this point. Also, Kendall Lim and Robert Jones are getting destroyed. He just couldn't get the ball out of bounds. It turned into a pick 6. Game was already kind of looking bad at this point, but we needed to convert on this. Nothing was really open at this point. He would have had to throw it. Maybe able to get Barrios if he gets rid of the ball now, but he's starting to feel this pressure in his face. Maybe didn't trust his arm, but Kendall Lamb, Robert Jones, just or not Kendall Lamb and Lester Connor in. My bad. But yeah, they just get caught with the twist and stunts. This guy loops around. Lamb and Cotton didn't pass it off, and they lose. And that was definitely like the biggest negative play for Tua in the game. Like the other picks, people will talk about too, and they'll point to all of them. But that was like the real sort of negative one to point out. This was probably the biggest positive downfield passing. Like, I mean, this is 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Look how it's still 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. These safeties get out of it. Waddle takes an outside release versus on this slant, which actually it kind of works out for him because I think him taking this outside release actually makes Hamlin gain more depth because he thinks, oh, he's not going to break to the inside and outside release, which he does. He's able to win to the inside. But this is one of the few times where we were actually able to get open kind of versus man-to-man. Tua hangs in the pocket, like, because the pressure wins instantly again. Austin Jackson had a real rough game versus Von Miller. Von Miller wins so quickly. Tua comes off it, sticks that back foot in the ground, and slings it. Good timing. These are things that I feel like Dolphins have gone away from. We haven't thrown as many glance routes, many of these slants, bang eights, posts. The in-breakers, I feel like, just have gone away from the offense, and I understand why to an extent, why it's gone away because of how teams are playing us, but we still need to be able to show it and do it way at a more consistent level. Like, it's not like it's just completely gone every single snap, but that's unfortunate. Dolphins get into, like, a short situation. We run, like, actually a split field backfield with Tyreek and Achan. We run the ball downhill. Achan gets downhill. Definitely been, like, definitely the biggest bright spot of the offense. And I like being able to get downhill. I mean, we're getting a little too cutesy with the play calling at times, but Buffalo just outplays us. And I want to say, like, this season right now, it's on McDaniel. It's him. Like, if Skylar has to play, I don't know what we're going to do at quarterback, really. If Tua's out long term and he, whatever that decides to happen. I mean, the season's not going to go anywhere with Skylar, so. But the season's on McDaniel to give them a shot, making things simple. Here was another missed opportunity. This was actually a couple plays before Tua got hurt. Missed Julian Hill. Right read, good decision. They're running cover 2. You split field. You throw the ball down the middle. This is where you attack cover 2. DeMar Hamlin kind of slips. The ball gets out. Tua throws it probably a little too high. Like, it's a little outstretched, but he's just trying to throw the ball over the linebacker. He could have put the ball down a little bit more, so I do think Tua could have hit him better. But, like, at some point, we got to make some tough catches, man. Like, somebody on behind Tyreek and Waddle has to make a play eventually. It's not even like, and Tyreek and Waddle weren't really making plays in this game either, but need a slightly better pass there. But there was opportunity that this could have been a touchdown and ended the drive, which is unfortunate. And then just more of this stuff. Like, this is the last play I'm going to show. Like, Tua, unfortunately, I'm not going to show it. And there's no point in breaking down the Skylar stuff because, respect to Tua. And the Skylar stuff, the game was over by then anyway, so we'll break down that later on. But Jonnu, like, it's just more of this stuff, I feel like, in situations, first down, second down. I feel like teams are kind of giving us these yards. Just a quick boom. Hit him at 4 or 5 yards, and then Jonnu breaks some tackles, shows some toughness, falls forward, pick up about 7, make it a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and manageable. I feel like we just don't do these basics that other teams do to make it just easier on them. When teams are playing consistently cover 2 versus you. So got to be able to run the ball more, got to be able to take those types of things more. And that's the last play that I want to take a look at. We need to make some big adjustments. You can still run the crack tosses and all of those really well-designed plays that happen. They just need to not be our basics of the offense. We need to have actual basics that everyone kind of runs, because if you don't show that, then teams will not respect it, and then they'll play these types of coverages. And we really desperately need players like OBJ and Craig Kraft back. And also, we just don't know what's going to happen at the quarterback position. We really don't. So, if you guys love the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.